Hi and welcome back to the channel. Today we will be upgrading the Desert Viper with the new Vortex Venom optic. With doing that, we've got a couple of things that we will cover in this video. First off, we'll be retorquing our Picatinny rail to make sure it's torqued to the correct specifications with the torque wrench. Secondly, we'll be installing the new Vortex Pro rings for the new Vortex Venom optic. We'll be setting our eye relief on the optic. We'll be leveling our optic with the leveling kit. And then after that, we'll also be using the laser bore sighter to do a bore sight, and I'll explain the differences between bore sighting and using the laser level. So, let's get started. First order of business, we'll have to loosen the rings of the old optic. And there we have it. The rings are loose. I'd like to mention once again that if you have a torque screwdriver, it's not for loosening screws, it's for torquing, tightening down screws. You will hurt the mechanism if you use it in the wrong fashion. I'd also like to mention it probably wasn't necessary for me to loosen the rings because I could have taken the optic with the rings off completely, but I would like to put everything back nice in its box as it was, because I'll probably be selling this optic as the Vortex will be my main driver from here on out. And then with the rings loosened, we can just lift off the old optic. Put that aside. And then if we move on to get the rings off the Picatinny base, we need a little socket. 12 millimeters. There we go. And they just pop off. Okay, then we're just going to do a quick check on the Picatinny rail to the action, or setting it to 20-inch pounds, making sure that that is still set. There we go, guys. Picatinny to the action, 20-inch pounds on each. That should be perfect. Now we're on to fitting those Pro rings. Grabbing the Pro rings out the box. These rings are super nice. I'm so happy about this. Quickly grab the correct bit for this. Once again, you will notice I'm not using the torque wrench to loosen these. Okay, let's have a look. As I'm a left-handed shooter, so my face will be on this side, looking down the side of the barrel. What would be more aesthetically pleasing for me to have a look at? Let's do one at the back here. The screws facing out. Next one. I like to place it as far apart as possible, so they are at the edges of the actual Picatinny rail. Let's tighten these down. Alright, so they were hand snug, just so that they are not moving around, and then we will be torquing them down to 30-inch pounds as Vortex recommends. Start here. We'll do it evenly as we move along. Don't want to do one at a time. That one's there. This one should be near. There we go. That one's right. There we go, guys. All 4 torque to 30 inch-pounds, directly as Vortex recommends. Just double checking to make sure. Now we can move on to removing the actual top of the rings. There we have it, ring caps off. Now let's get to the fun part, putting in the optic. Okay, let's grab the optic. Guys, one little disclaimer that I'd like to make is, I'm not claiming to be an expert on all these things. I believe, like most of you, I've been learning on YouTube, researching. There isn't really anyone that ever taught me these things. I mean, where do you go for someone to teach you all these nitty-gritty little parts of setting up a rifle, getting it from scratch from the grease wrapping or from the shop and getting it into precision rifle shooting ready? This has been such a learning curve for me, and thank you guys for following along on this journey. It's been really, really insightful and educational, and I'm really enjoying the process. Don't get me wrong, really enjoying it. There's a lot to learn. There's so much information out there. Getting the correct information is also quite difficult. But yeah, let's move on to getting this optic onto the Remington 700 in this absolutely fabulous MDT chassis, the field stock. Guys, video of the field testing of the field stock will be out soon. We're going to be doing a little bit more shooting content in the future as we are getting to a close of this build. Right, let's put on the optic. Let's grab this out of the box here. That aside. And the moment we've been waiting for. Yes, it just looks so much different with the 34mm tube. Wow, that's a monster. I really like that. We've got the MDT flag in here. The rifle is safe. Okay, so I'm just going to loosely put on the ring caps now. Just going to hand tighten them just so that the optic doesn't fall off. We're going to alternate this crisscross. So what I'm doing here is I'm just making sure that this gap, this tiny little gap between the rings is the same on both sides. You don't want it skew, so you prefer to keep it level as possible. Let's loosen this one a bit. Ooh, that's a little bit too tight. Now I can't move the optic. There we go. I don't feel comfortable with that. Just going to loosen a little bit more. I don't want my optic to get scratched. As I did pay for this myself, not sponsored by Vortex. Okay. Now we've got a bit of movement in there, so we can set our eye relief and also level it. Okay, I'm just going to remove the bolt just so we've got a bit more space to work with and see what we can do with this eye relief. set the parallax to about to its minimum 15 yards, just so I can see a bit better. And then we're going to move optic back, forth. With this 4-inch eye relief, this is absolutely quality. It's filling up the whole space. I'm not struggling to find, but I think, let's see, I think this might be where I'd like it. That is, wow, that's also actually very great. Let's adjust the cheek riser a tiny bit, as the rings are different height than the previous rings. That's too low. Up a bit. It's also another great thing about this NDT field stock. For this price point and the value add and all the options that you get on this, such a great stock for, well, I shouldn't say stock, chassis, because this is like a hybrid chassis stock. They call it a field stock, but actually it's more like a chassis system. Especially with the kids, and if my wife wants to shoot with it, not all of us are on the same height for the eye relief and the scope. So to set this easily is fantastic, such a value add, game changer for me. Just do a couple of these to see if I can find it properly. No, that's too far. You shouldn't be chasing the shadow around. So, putting your face down, and you should be able to have a clear picture sight immediately. Here we've run into a slight little problem, but this is how it goes. We learn as we go along. Once again, guys, thank you for following along on this journey. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell to follow along on the other videos that are coming up. But first off, what I've noticed now is we need to level the optic to the action, right? I've now made a mental note of where my eye relief is here, from the bell housing to where the ring sits. But I will have to take the optic off again. Level the rifle, put the optic back on, level the optic, and then we should be good to go. So, I won't bore you guys with that. I'll cut this. Movie magic. Let's go. So, sorry about that. Had to rip off the optic again. Grabbing the leveling kit here. It's nice and magnetic. As you can see, this is not level whatsoever. Let me quickly level this out. Alright, so there we've leveled it out. We look at it from the top to make sure that it's completely level and we're not making any parallax mistakes. Now we're going to attach the other level to the barrel. Here we've got the leveling system that attaches to the barrel, so the action is still 100% level. Put this on, tighten it down, then this will become our point of reference, our point of truth. We don't have to get it spot on here, as there's a fine adjustment knob right there. Just make sure it's nice and snug to the barrel. Let's make some adjustments. That looks damn near close to perfect to me. Sorry for the glare of the lights now. There we go. Now we can once again move back to fitting the optic. Let's remove this, place the optic on, all the while keeping in mind my reference point I had for the bell housing to the ring of where my high relief was set to. And we place the ring caps back and tighten them down. Alright, optic back in its place. I'm going to remove this turret cap to use the turret only as a measuring point. Get that off. Now this should be nice and level. First off, we make sure that the rifle is still level from the top. But first we need to make sure the rifle is still level from our reference point on the barrel. Let's do that now. Right, I've confirmed that the reference point on the barrel is still 100% level. So that means the action is also still level. I've switched off the lights so we can have a look at this nice and closely. And we are moving the optic left and right. That looks spot on to me. And we're going to grab the torque wrench, set it to 18 pounds, and torque down the rings in an alternating fashion. All the while to make sure that we keep an eye on that level, that does not shift. Got the torque wrench set to 18 pounds. Now that this first ring is set, I'm sure this optic won't move. You can discard this and carry on torquing the rest down. I'm going to go over them all once more just to make sure. And now we are sure that this optic is not going anywhere. Put the turret cap back on. This Vortex Venom does have the rev stop system installed. I'll have the link to the video up here for that as well. I think this looks amazing. The stoke is super high. Now we get to move on to another fun part. You're going to do bore sighting and then using the laser bore sighter as well. There's a link to the unboxing and usage of the laser bore sighter. I'll link that up here for you guys. I like to use a target like this when doing my bore sighting and also when using the laser bore sight. Let's go check it out. Okay, so first off we do bore sight, remove the bolt. I've placed the target around 15 meters away from the rifle, just so we can get onto paper. So that is the target down there. And if we adjust the focus out, you will see we are looking straight down the bore of the rifle onto the target, and we will use that reference point now to adjust our optic. This is a bit difficult to capture for you guys, but I hope you can see, even with that bore sight, we are very, very close to on target. So I will be adjusting so that we are in the center of that, and then we will validate with the laser bore sight. Now I'm quickly going to demonstrate using the laser bore sight. I've got the main housing here, it's already set with the correct fitting over there. We have the batteries out, pop the batteries in like this, and we've got a laser. And the laser fits in exactly into the bore, nice and snug. You do not adjust these as this is factory set for the laser to be exactly in line with the shaft. And there we have it. Let's quickly check it out. As you can see guys, laser bore sight installed, and it's almost on the X. As you can also see, the optics reticle needs a couple of adjustments to get where it's supposed to be. However, this should be perfectly fine to get us onto paper at the range, but this laser bore sight or a normal bore sight should never be trusted. All data should always be validated on the range. And there we have it, the Vortex Venom installed on the Remington 700 6.5 Creedmoor, aptly nicknamed the Desert Viper. Guys, what a journey this has been. This has been a little bit more different video than what we used to on this channel. There's quite a bit of information we stacked in here. I might break it up into 3 different sections. However, I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did, found it educational. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell when new videos get uploaded. I can't wait to take this to the range. With this sighting we did now, we will definitely be on paper at 25 meters and then stretching it out up to 100, 200, 400, 500. Let's see, who knows, maybe up to a kilometer. That is actually my main goal that I want to try and do. It's been a lifelong goal of mine. So stay tuned, follow along. Let's see if we can hit that 1 mile mark.